Hi Capricorn, welcome to your end of May 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Let me just shuffle these a little bit more. I like my creaky chair. Okay, picking one. Okay, I've been getting this theme of like Six of Swords, Eight of Cups. These are both cards to me that they're not identical, but both this idea of leaving something. For the Eight of Cups, which I chose for you, it's more search for meaning in life. Maybe not feeling that in a relationship or a job, for instance. And with this Six of Swords, it's more like getting away from drama, and I just did a reading where I got that. So, very interesting. So that might be going on in a lot of people's lives. The heart of the matter is the Star card. Oh, by the way, sorry if this is low light. I just don't feel like turning on any lights right now. So that's why I'm in darkness, but not really. I'm always lit up inside the inner light. The Star card relates to Aquarius, and this is about faith in unseen forces. Capricorn is an earth sign. You know, when I'm having these debates online, people say, show me the proof, you know, with atheists. The proof. I want something tangible evidence of something. And there's some things in life, some of the best things in life cannot offer you that proof. God, love, you can't quantify those things. And when you may have had some kind of act of grace. You may be in this period of having your faith restored in life. And if so, you can feel like, hey, life has meaning after all. Here I thought everything was doomed, and now I believe that life is good. Life is inherently good, and feel hopeful again. And that's like, I remember getting I used to draw cards for myself, and I remember getting the Star card, and it was almost like I almost felt like crying, because there had been so much stuff that had gone on before that, and I really did see it as a harbinger of a new cycle of better stuff that were going to happen for me. And I think that was exactly what happened. I can't remember, that was a long time ago. But the thing about this is that I remember reading about this card after that fact, and it's saying, about healing something. And when you're healing something, it means that you've been in a state where you needed healing. You needed to become whole. So it implies perhaps challenging times, and now you're starting to feel that sense of hopefulness again. This is, like I said, this is connected to Aquarius, so perhaps that is someone in your life. The past position, Three of Swords. By the way, Aquarius is one of the air signs, and that's represented by swords. But this is a card of heartbreak, feeling rejected. So an example would be having being broken up with, and now just beginning to heal from that. And that kind of feeling hopeful again after having your heart broken. How about that? And by the way, having your heart broken can be on the job. You know, not getting that promotion, getting a demotion, you know, getting your hours cut, whatever, you know, that means. And feeling that sense of rejection. The Three of Swords can be a feeling of rejection. And that is a very hard feeling to deal with, because the person feels unwanted, undervalued. And that is a story you tell yourself. You have to resist that tendency. It's very hard, but it has to be done. When someone you know, supposedly rejects you, that doesn't mean that they are rejecting you as a human being, but simply the relationship is not what they are looking for, or maybe they don't feel worthy of a decent relationship and they want to have somebody who is going to give them the message of their own unworthiness, because that's what is comfortable for them. You have to understand that this is very complicated, and it's important not to buy into your inferiority in any way, in any area of life. Even if it seems like it totally points to it, it really isn't. So I hope that that message reaches the person or people that it needs to, because I just feel like that is oftentimes the cause of a lot of pain that is unnecessary. And the higher message, which is kind of like what I just said, but the Two of Pentacles. And to me, this is talking about you have a choice in life. Whenever you see a two, that's about choice. So just in general, and this is Pentacles, so it's an earth energy, but if we talk about what earth energy is, it's all about employment, money, and you could say values. Because Taurus, the second house, earned income, is also about your personal values. And based on your values, you have a choice, and this is a spiritual message, on how you feel, on whether or not someone or something is worthwhile. Sometimes we get locked into these concepts where we think we can only have this or that, and there's like a narrow focus, a too narrow focus. And one thing I didn't say is that the Three of Swords can be a lover's triangle. And, you know, based on this particular situation, I wouldn't be surprised if you're the one that is participating in it. Maybe you have met somebody that is new and that represents the star. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an Aquarius, but they have given your life more meaning, a sense of hope, hopefulness. And the Two of Pentacles, you know, this can be a card of like juggling two things, and even just that sense of, yeah, like trying to keep everything together and having like the hectic energy. But also, whenever there's a two, there might be showing that there's need to choose, to make a decision. Now, I feel like with the Three of Swords in particular, that even if you are involved in an affair, it may be because of your own feelings of rejection from your primary relationship. I know people don't like to hear that kind of, you know, tolerance of affairs. I'm not condoning affairs. I don't like any kind of deception in relationships, lying and that sort of thing. But I also know that it happens whether I like it or not. So please understand that I'm not condoning that, but I understand that sometimes things do just happen when a person is vulnerable, when a person already feels rejection from their primary relationship, and somebody comes along who shows appreciation and seems to recognize those qualities. Capricorn is a traditional sign, and so the chances of a Capricorn person having an affair probably are a lot less than other signs that may not adhere to the same traditional values. But it doesn't mean that a Capricorn person is immune from it. And that is just something that I just wanted to put out there. The other thing too is, if you have come up with an idea for a home business, the Two of Pentacles can indicate that by starting a home business and at the same time maybe keeping that day job, even if you feel like you have been done wrong, passed over for a promotion, for instance, it will make it more tolerable in the meantime, because you will have a sense of hope restored, and you have this something to look forward to instead of just feeling like you'd put all your eggs into one basket. What crosses you is the Knight of Wands. This is a card of the playboy, the person who has commitment issues. So if you have gotten involved, and by the way, this is connected to Sagittarius. So the point is that sometimes you can, this is just what I think. I don't know, I'm not asking anybody to agree with me, but I think sometimes affairs are bridges from a bad marriage or primary relationship to embracing being single again, and kind of disengaging from, in some cases, a long-term relationship. And even if that relationship doesn't last, it can be very brief and intense, very exciting, and also energizing. And energizing means that it allows the person to appreciate themselves because they are being appreciated for the first time in a long time. And that isn't a bad thing. Again, I'm not condoning affairs. I'm understanding that they happen, and I'm showing what it can mean. If you're looking for a person that you're involved with to commit, that you're having some kind of relationship with, they may not be at that stage yet. They may be younger than you, and that's why. They may still want to sow their wild oats. They may have commitment issues. That doesn't make them a bad person, but they may have their own issues that prevent them from fully committing to someone. And you have to accept who they are. If you don't accept it and you expect them to conform to your dictates, you may find yourself in yet another type of unsatisfactory relationship. Also, I know this sounds weird, but I could see some Capricorns just kind of like, I don't want to say losing it, but becoming very rebellious in a certain sense. Knight of Wands is a card of the daredevil, the person who doesn't necessarily think before they act. This is so not Capricorn. Unless you have some kind of an element like Mars in Aries or Moon in Aries, a square between Moon and Mars or something like that, where you're just very, you get emotionally wound up and then you do something very rash. And it can be very much against your basic nature. But if you've been tolerating a situation at work, for instance, and you just decide, I'm not going to take this anymore. And you may have to curb those tendencies if they are very strong within you, because The Star card may even be an influence from somebody, a loved one, who has crossed over, who you feel a strong connection to and who's guiding you and letting you know what moves to make. But you still have to maintain your composure. The Knight of Wands can be very chaotic. And part of that, it's a double fire energy, and fire is very expansive. And sometimes when people have felt kept down, then they go kind of crazy. So like a bad marriage, and the person wants to leave, and then they have a brief period where they go crazy. They're like a kid in a candy store. And just, you know, acting out a bit because they were so pent up. But there has to be that sense of balance so that you don't burn out with all that fire. What's coming in is represented by the Eight of Cups, leaving what no longer is emotionally fulfilling or spiritually fulfilling, maybe on a spiritual quest. Maybe that's what the Star card represents, this sense of a higher meaning of life, or searching for that. There's that book called, you know, Your North Star or something. The author is Martha Beck. A lot of people, I haven't really gotten into it. I did, you know, I think I may even own a copy. It didn't necessarily grab me, but some people really swear by it. If you're looking for your purpose in life and you feel like it has eluded you thus far, that might be a book that really speaks to you. And so the Eight of Cups is in a similar vein of really, you know, kind of feeling called to maybe take a pilgrimage, maybe gravitate towards the more spiritual side of life. Leave a relationship that isn't emotionally fulfilling or emotionally, what's another word besides fulfilling? Emotionally expanding you, where there's stagnation there. The outcome is the Four of Pentacles. Number 4, we're in a 4 universal year. This is really great for stability. Actually, the number 4 connects with your ruler, which is Saturn, okay? And so there's that sense of an anchor, that sense of foundation. And this is a great card for managing your money. But I see it as so much more than that. It's about being grounded. It's about perhaps laying down new roots. And maybe, you know, you built something that was not on solid ground because you didn't really have that kind of emotional connection with it. So you just kind of went along with the program and it never really took roots or grew roots. It was just kind of waiting to dissipate. And this might be your opportunity to lay down roots, create that sense of stability in your life that emotionally is also an emotionally fulfilling situation. So anyway, I hope that you resonated with this in some way, Capricorn. If you'd like a personal reading, the list of my online offerings is below this video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.